I'm going to share today's reading too, because I just kind of really like what happens in this. But just to give a little background, so we know that there was a famine during Abraham's time. And during his time, when that famine happened, he went to Egypt. So this is a new promise that the Lord is reaffirming with Isaac in this reading for today. And he tells Isaac specifically not to go to Egypt. And so I looked up why the Lord didn't want him to go to Egypt during the time of Isaac. And it wasn't a real clear reason, because it says that Egypt was actually under a time of stability and things were going really great. So it opened to my eyes. God just was simply not ready for Isaac to go there, because he did say in Abraham's time of the famine that your descendants will be there, your family will be there, and you will be in this land in Egypt where you will suffer. Okay, so we knew that it was going to happen, but it wasn't the time yet when Isaac was around. So it says there's another famine in the land in addition to the one that had occurred in Abraham's time, and Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, at Gerar. So instead, he's like, go over here. And sometimes that's what we just got to do in life. We can't try to move forward to where we think that things are great. We just need to stay put, and we need to listen to what the Lord is telling us to do. And that's called being still. And teach us how to do that, Lord, because sometimes we see the beautifulness way ahead of us, and we know that things are great over there, but you want us to stay right here, and you want us to mingle in this area and see what you're going to do for us here. And 9 times out of 10, it's because you got something in this season, in this area, where we have to learn to move, to build and be prepared to where the greater is. Okay. So that's what he did with Isaac. He said, no, you're going to stay right here, and you're not going to move and go over to Egypt, because Egypt's doing good right now. And I'm not sending you there until it's time to where I said you're going to suffer. And in that time of suffering, I'm going to build you up and bring you out. It wasn't time for Isaac's time yet. So Isaac in us, we come in seasons where we just need to stay put and not try to move forward of God. And we need to stay where he wants us to be. So anyways, moving on. He says, stay in this land as an alien, and I will be with you and bless you. Stay where you are. You know, you're in this area where you're in the unknown and you don't know what's going on, but stay where you are, because indeed God is with you and he will bless you in this time. Trust him. Use your faith and hope and trust in him, and know that where you're at right now, you just passing through, but guess what? He gonna be with you, and he will bless you in this time. At the time, I don't even know where I'm at. I just know that God is for me, and he is with me, and I'm just going to continue to trust him. And he indeed shows up. He is there. He is always there in a present need of time. And although I don't pray for blessings, he is blessing. You know, he's continuously blessing. My prayer is always that I just focus on the prosperity in my relationship with him. That's always what's been important. But I am a witness to knowing that when I stay put and I listen to God and I don't move forward ahead of him, and I try to do things on my own, thinking that I'm about to reach the little pretty spot without him, I realize when I stay put, he has been blessing me. When I stay put and I listen to and do what he tells me to do, and not myself or anyone else, he blesses you, and he will do that for you. For I will give you all these lands to you and your offspring, and I will confirm the oath that I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars in the sky. I will give your offsprings all the land and all the nations of the earth, and will be blessed by your offspring, because Abraham listened to me. I love how he put that in there. He's like, Isaac, I'm going to do the same thing for you as I did for your father, but here's the conditions here. You are to listen to me and keep my mandates and my commands and my statutes and my instructions, and I will bless you and be with you, and I will keep my promises just like I did your father, who walked very closely with me. And what he did is, when he did all of those things, guess what happened? Abraham had a very long and successful life, and he prospered spiritually with the Lord. And so he's telling Isaac the same thing. So Isaac, what did he do? He settled in a Gerar, and he did not go to Egypt. He didn't move beyond the Lord. He listened to him. He listened to him. And then there's an area where Isaac was he fell into deception, just like his father Abraham did. Like, even though we listen to the Lord, there are times in our life where deceit will come upon us, and, you know, we will do some unnecessary things that we just need to give over to the Lord and pray to him about. Just like Abraham, he lied about Sarah being his sister and not his wife. And what did his son do? Followed in his footsteps, and he relied about Rebecca being his sister and not his wife. And they caught on to it really quick. They seen that they clearly were husband and wife, and the people in the land where he was an alien was not happy about that. So even though things are going great, Isaac is listening. We are in a dark world, and things are going to deceive us, and we're going to have areas in life where we just aren't going to listen, or we just try to think, like, the darkness overtakes in our life, and we will do things like Abraham and Isaac, and we will fail, but God is with us and for us. He forgives us. He loves us, and he is working everything out for the better of our good. So we can't focus on where we went wrong. Isaac admitted it, and the people was like, okay, move on. We can't have you doing that here. And he didn't stay stuck in where he knew he did wrong. He just admitted it. God knew, and he moved on, and God continued to bless him even through his wrong. So anyways, in another area, he had some conflicts with some water. And I'm going to go down to the part he had some conflicts with some water, and he was living in this land as an alien. And even though Isaac did wrong, God still blessed him tremendously. And he had many herds and flocks and many slaves, and he was in this land of the Philistines. They're like, why is he being prosperous in our land where he just did us dirty, and God is still blessing him? So they didn't understand, and they told them to leave them, and he was too powerful in their land. They didn't like it. They didn't like that God continued to bless Isaac. But this is what happens when you follow God. You listen to God. You listen to his mandates. You follow his instructions and commandments for your life. When he tells you to stay put, you stay put. When he tells you to move, you move. When you do that, even with the wrongs that do happen, because we're human, he's still for you, and he's still working in your life. That's just how God is. He's a mysterious person that I love oh so much. So I don't get stuck on people being jealous or envious or trying to hold me back, or their darkness or things, I just pray for them, because these things are going to happen, and people just don't understand how God works sometimes. So what do we do when we have people that are like that towards us as God is blessing us? Just pray for them. Pray that God will bless them in the same way that he is for you. And don't focus on what people think about you being prosperous in your spiritual journey with the Lord. Don't think about it. God has that for you for a reason. And 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, it's because you're following what the Lord says for you to do for your life and for your journey. And you're being still, and you're being obedient, and you're doing the things God tells you to do. And that will cause people to be envious of you. But what you're going to do is not worry about that. You're going to worry about what God has going on for you. And you're going to continue to focus and keep your eyes forward on the prize. And that's to be with the Lord, and not worry about that other stuff. So Isaac kept moving on. And I'm going to come down to the part. He was like, you know what? Plug up these wells and do this stuff and be jealous of me and try to push me out of your land. But I'm going to keep on moving. You could be jealous of me. You could do this. You could do that. But what you can't do is keep the Lord from me. And that's exactly what happened with Isaac. He moved on, and he kept opening wells and kept trying to be successful in these lands that he was still an alien in. And so he finally found a place, and he says, the Lord appeared to him in the night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, Isaac. These people don't like you. They don't like how they see that I'm for you. They don't like how you're being prosperous, because you're being obedient. You're following my commands. You're listening to me. So this is what I'm going to do. I will bless you and multiply your offspring because of my servant Abraham. So he built an altar there, called on the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. Isaac's servants also dug a well there. So we not going to stay stuck. We're not going to stay stuck in a mindset of lack. We are aliens here. We're going to continue to follow the commands of the Lord, be obedient to him, and not worry about what anybody else thinks about us. And when we do that, God indeed will bless you, and he is with you and for you, even through the darkness, my brothers and sisters. Just know that. May peace be with you all.